was once asked by a woman I know, how do I address perceived bias in the workplace? This is a tough conversation. It's a crucial conversation. It has all the elements of exactly what makes conversation crucial. That is, the stakes are high. This is important. There's probably some differences of opinion, and our emotions come into play. So how do I do this? Well, first, get really clear on what your purpose is in this conversation. Sometimes we think that our purpose should be, I'm going to call you out for your bias against me, and I expect you to change. If that's your purpose, this is probably not going to be a conversation, because a conversation requires us to want to dialogue. In a conversation, I want to share my meaning and I want to hear your meaning. Now, yes, our goal will be to move towards change and to move towards resolution that works for all of us, but we have to start with that intent of, I want to share what's happening to me and I want to hear your thoughts on it. Once you've got that clear, good intent, start by sharing it. That's what's going to create safety for this conversation. These conversations about bias, they are hard and they are tense and they can feel very unsafe. So you need to work to create that safety for both you and the other person, and you do it by sharing that good intent. My intent is not to judge you. My intent is not to call you out. My intent is to share something that I've noticed that is happening, talk about how it's impacting me, and see how we can work together. That's my intent, and I'm going to share it just like that. Then once I do that, it's time to share my meaning. I start with my facts. Be very behaviorally specific about what's happening, right? Be very clear. Don't go to generalizations. Don't use always. This is always happening. You always do this. But this is what I'm seeing, right? Be very clear and very specific. Then share the impact. Here's how I'm perceiving this. Here's how this comes across to me. And as you do this, you need to acknowledge that much of your perception of their actions is actually based on your lived experience. That doesn't negate it. It doesn't mean it's not true or accurate, but own that your perception of their actions is based on your lived experience. It's something you can share, but it's also something you need to own. And finally, open it up with that question. How do you see this? Where are you coming from? I'd like to get your perspective. This is where it truly comes down to a measure of your motives. Are you here to blame and shame, or are you here to dialogue and change?